Hi everyone, back. I was just doing my intro like Jeffree Star from back in the day. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My God, the brain rot is real. Oh Jesus. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Grayson Tate, and on this channel, we just kind of review anything and we do whatever video we want. And today we're actually doing something I didn't even expect to do because I didn't even know these existed. We're reviewing the Beats Solo Buds. These are basically $80 AirPod killers. That's what we're going to be answering in this video. So if you don't know, Beats was bought by Apple years ago and they still make headphones. And honestly, some of those headphones are good and they brought back the Beats Pill speaker, which I'll probably be doing a review on that. So keep your eye out for that in the future. If you've never seen one of my reviews, I'm going to keep it simple and straightforward and give you the details, but let you know if it's worth it. And I will say that the Beats Solo Buds are actually very much worth it, especially for the $79.99 price. Now, that doesn't mean you should buy them. It's like they're worth it with an asterisk, and I'm going to tell you why and who I think they're actually for. You probably saw in the thumbnail, these are them. They're tiny, and this case is the cutest, tiniest thing I've ever seen. I have them in the transparent red color so you can actually see the inner workings of the case. And if I go ahead and open them, you'll notice that the buds themselves are actually a bit larger than like a normal little pair of earbuds. And that's because these buds hold all of the battery. The case does not hold any of the battery. So the Solo Buds are actually rated for 18 hours of battery life. And I will say in my testing, I've been using them for a week and they definitely hold up. I haven't had to charge them once and I'm at about 50% battery, and that's using them for hours and hours for the past week. This tiny case is amazing. Everything about this is very clearly designed by Apple. The fit and finish is great. The hinge is really solid. When you open the case, like on an iPhone, you will still get the buds popping up like you would a pair of AirPods. And when you open them, you'll actually hear them make a noise to show that they're connected and that they're awake. So even though they're plastic, I would not say that that's a detractor because they're more durable. And this is very much like Apple quality plastic. So I have the red version and it's the only one that has a transparent case in this product line. Beats has other transparent products that honestly are also amazing, and I very much think that we should bring back transparent tech in general. These also come in a white, a black, and a purple, so there's some fun color options and there's some normal ones that I think that you could probably find for yourself or for a friend really easily. The buds themselves are actually really well designed. They fit into the ear really snugly because they have the little plastic tip, like the little silicone tip, and it comes with 4 different tip sizes in the box, so you'll definitely be able to find one that fits your ear. And when you put them in, you just put them in and twist them so they go into your ear canal just like that. And you can see they stick out a little bit, but not much at all. On the side of the buds, or I guess the front, you have the Beats logo because of course you do. And that blank section right at the top is actually the button. And at first I thought that this was kind of a weird design choice because of course you would think that you would hit the Beats logo, but it's actually really smart because the way that these sit in your ear, when you press the top where the button is, it actually presses into the bone that is part of your ear. So that way it's much more secure than pressing the Beats logo, which would shove them further into your ear and be really uncomfortable. There are 2 potential downsides when you look at the design, but it depends on how you think about these. For $80, they don't have any technical waterproof rating, but because this is Apple and because this is Beats and because these are earbuds, I have to assume that there was some glue involved in this manufacturing process. And even when Apple products haven't been technically water resistant in the past, they still do a pretty good job. So I've been running with these for the last week and it is very hot in Texas and I've been sweating a ton. And I've never really been worried about like water getting inside of the buds because they're really tight and sealed up. The other potential downside, depending on how you look at it, these are actually kind of noise canceling earbuds without having any noise canceling technology. Because of the design fitting directly in your ear canal and the silicone tip, I would say that these let in very little outside noise to the point that they basically function as noise canceling earbuds. The potential downside of this is that if you want earbuds that let a little bit more outside noise in, especially if you're running or biking or you need to be aware of your surroundings a bit more, these might not be the option for you because you're really not going to hear like a ton like you would in a transparency mode or like open earbuds. But honestly, for $80, like, do you really care? They probably sound better because they block out noise. So this takes me to sound quality. For $80, which I think is the cheapest pair of like wireless earbuds Apple has ever made, are they worth it? Shockingly, yes. And I have a lot to say about this, but the long story short is they sound good. They are not particularly clear or deep. So there is a little bit of bass, there is some good treble, but when you mix everything together, I think that's when they can sound a little bit muddy. So for like a normal pop song, it won't sound the best compared to like other versions of AirPods. That being said, these actually sound really good for classical music, more simple tracks, podcasts and audiobooks. It's fantastic. Voices come through really clearly, and I think that the audio quality and range that it can produce is actually really good for like vocal heavy tracks. Now, that's not to say that they like sound bad for everything else, but like they sound like they're on the cheaper end, but not necessarily $80 cheaper. I'd say like maybe in the mid $100 range. These do have a mic built in, so you can take it for calls and use it with a voice assistant, which I was actually really surprised that that was included at this price. When I first bought these, I just thought that they wouldn't include it, and that was one of the ways that they saved money. That being said, I'm on video calls all day for work, and I would not necessarily rely on these to be the earbuds I would use for a bunch of professional calls, because the mic quality is not that good and you will sound a little like you're on the phone and it's muffled. But for your everyday like phone call and things like that, totally fine. So when you look at these and you look at everything else that Apple makes and all of the other earbuds that are out there, it's kind of like, why would I buy them? Because if you're not a Beats fan or you're not like so obsessed with the tiny little case like I am, where does that leave you? Well, I can give you some very clear guidance. And I'm just gonna compare these to other headphones and earbuds that I've used, which are mainly in the Apple ecosystem because technically these are an Apple product. The main competitor I would say that these have is the second generation AirPods. These are my mother's old pair, and so they have a sticker, but just for reference, it's the AirPods with the long stem. These now are on sale for $89, and the Beats Solo Buds are on sale right now for $79. And at first I was like, okay, between the two, it's probably going to be these. They both have the same Apple Magic. They can both automatically pair with your devices and switch between them and things like that. But I just kind of assumed the AirPods would sound better. And let me be very clear, they do not at all. Because the AirPods, just regular AirPods, don't have a silicone tip, they don't form to your ear and block out a bunch of noise, which in turn makes the bass response sound better and the headphones in general just sound better. So if you're choosing between these two and you want to stay in like the Apple ecosystem, I would absolutely say the Beats, especially because if you or someone you know uses an Android phone, Beats is like famous for working really well with Apple and with Android, and AirPods just don't really do that at all. So I would definitely suggest these. Now, when you look at the third gen AirPods that are not the Pros, I still have a hard time recommending those because they're double the price than the Solo Buds, and they're still kind of the open ear design where they don't have a silicone tip. So it's like if you're really gonna spend twice the money, I would actually just go ahead and shoot for the moon and go for the second gen AirPod Pros. Now, the price difference between the Solo Buds and the AirPod Pros is when they're on sale, I think it's about $120 different or maybe $100 different. And that upgrade is very worth the price. If you want to splurge, if you want something nicer, go for the AirPod Pros. Literally everything about them is amazing. They sound so much more clear and so much more rich. And that's not to say that these little babies sound bad. I'm just saying it's worth the splurge. So because of the way they sound, because of the price and the design and the ease of use and the fact that it works with Apple and Android equally as well, who are these for? And if you're watching this video, I'm gonna tell you they're probably not for you because you're watching a tech video from a channel you've never heard of before. What I actually think that these are perfect for is parents and by extension, children. I say parents because most of our parents don't really know how to use technology, and if they have an Android or if they have an iPhone, these work really well and it's very seamless. You can use Find My in case they get lost. The case is small, but you don't have to really worry about charging the case separately. You only plug in the case to charge the earbuds. So it's just one other step where it's not like, oh, are my earbuds dead? It's like, there's no battery in the case. If your earbuds are dead, everything's dead. So it's kind of like a one-to-one in that sense. They sound good enough. There's a microphone there. They block out noise without having noise cancellation modes that you have to work with. And all in all, for 80 bucks, they're just a great gift, whether it's for a parent or somebody else. I think that these could be really good earbuds for children. It really just depends on how old your child is and what their ear shape is like, because the actual buds themselves could be too large for like smaller ears. And that's not to say that you can't buy it. If you want a little pair of like throwaway buds, if you are getting into the Bluetooth earbud game for the first time, if you just want to not spend a lot of money and get a high quality product from Apple and Beats, This is absolutely the way to go. They have a bunch of different other versions of buds that add noise cancellation. And if you really care about it, you can splurge and go that route. But I honestly think you're getting a very well-rounded experience with the Studio Buds and that you won't be disappointed, especially because the most expensive they'll be is $80. So that is my video for this week. I hope that it helped you guys. And if you have any questions specifically about the buds, as always, please leave them in the comments below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.